walk away from the train wreck. You can blame it on the tech or the disrespect. If you play better, button check. Button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful morning, a Sunday morning, right, of checking these buttons. Thank you guys for tuning in once again, man. We got some hot ones, chapters down below if you want to skip around. And of course, as always, y'all already know, sub button right there. Thank you guys so much for always taking the time to help the channel grow. Look, we got some hot stories. Some of them just happened yesterday, so we got to check these buttons. Without further ado, let's go. All right, now into the Hitbox under fire, right? The FGC in an uproar. What the hell is going on? Buttons that need to be checked. Okay, so I believe this one just popped off in the last couple of days. I just saw it yesterday, right? So it might have just popped off yesterday. So Hitbox, if you don't know, well, obviously y'all know Hitbox. You know, we've done giveaways on this channel. They've been dominant, right? I think they were like the original, right? I'm talking about the Hitbox creators, right? That created the actual prototype there. From there, there's been other companies to come out with similar brands in models, but the Hitbox company that I'm referring to is the OGs, right? They're the ones that actually created it first, from my understanding. And of course, I'm talking about hitboxarcade.com. I'll unpack all of this, right? And I'm gonna be real. Y'all already know, if you watch the channel, you already know what time it is. I'm gonna be real. I'll unpack it all. Trust me, hang with me, right? All right, so they posted this the other day. Let me put it up right here. Right here saying Hitbox licensing program, and I think there's different levels to this, and I think it's like color-coded. Anyway, posting this saying, here we are proud to announce the Hitbox licensing program, Titan or Tiny. If you would like to inquire further about the Hitbox licensing program, please email us. Give you the email right there. We look forward to hearing from you, right? And then if you go a little deeper, they say on the actual website, right, where it says Hitbox licensing program, and I'll just cover some of it, right, because it actually goes more in depth than this. But they say our goal is to alleviate quality issues to the consumer by endorsing the most deserving controllers, big and small. We do this with the same care as we hold our own flagship products. The customer's experience is the utmost importance from the moment they unbox their controller through trusting its quality for years to come. Our dedication to our customers and community is the foundation of the Hitbox licensing program. Continuing on saying our protected intellectual property, when we developed Hitbox back in 2010, we believed its design was the future of fighting games and made the decision to apply a patent on the unique button layout. We aim to share the use of that intellectual property with the well-deserving companies who share the same customer-driven values as our own. Licensing provides our company with the ability to share our IP without worrying of other companies damaging it. Through the licensing program, we can officially endorse and collaborate with other high-quality companies and manufacturers. Additionally, we also help ensure that every player's experience on a leverless controller is a positive one. Then from there, you actually do see some companies coming out saying that they have partnered, right? I see Paradise Arcade Shop, right? Saying we are proud to announce our formal partnership with Arcade with the launch of the official licensing Empress Nano, if I'm saying that correctly. We are happy to join true pioneers who developed and led the leverless revolution. We look forward to an innovative and exciting future. Okay, so far, so good, right? I mean, as far as responses, you just see them announce that and you're like, okay, I guess makes sense. And people are excited to join the program. But the FGC starts asking some questions, right? Some concerns. Some are pissed off, right? Let's start it right here. I'm just going to present it the way it was presented to me, right? So somebody by the name of Brilliant Loser, gotta love the name, right? Says, so did Razer or Vtrix pay you to make their leverless controllers, or are you going to commit to your anti-consumer practices and actually try to sue those companies that would bury you in court if you pushed it? Because I wouldn't think it would be a good look if they didn't pay you your license program and you did nothing against them, but pursue lawsuits against mom and pop leverless businesses. So in a nutshell, he's saying, okay, well, if you're going to do this, are you doing it for everybody? What about the big guys like Razer and Vtrix? Are you going after them, or are you only going to go after like mom and pop shops? Hitbox responds to that saying, we plan on working with all sizes of organizations, big and small. Somebody else by the name of Neil says, not for long, this is 100% going to kill the brand. Then continuing on, somebody adding saying, good afternoon, which level would your own company be under, considering you use off-brand Chinese Brook boards that you are not able to update? Would not having PS5 support in 2024 be a tier below base, perhaps brown? Hitbox actually responds to that saying, there is no standard across the board. Each organization/controller will be considered on their own terms. They respond back saying, I see, so I guess it's safe to say that you're out of the fighting game controller making business and we'll get into the patent troll business. And Good luck in your future endeavors. And Hitbox responds to that saying, we have been limited on what we can produce, especially for PS5, but we may be able to announce and release things soon. We do plan on producing more controllers. Which, to bring up, I've actually seen, right? Because a lot of these questions, Hitbox is actually answering like post after post. They're responding. I'm not sure who's in charge of their social media account on Twitter, but they're on it as far as like responses, right? And on second, like I do see this PS5 coming, or PS5 question a lot, because they're like, what's up with the PS5? I want to play PS5. There's some people saying I love the Hitbox, but I also need to play this PS5. So I'm starting to look at something that's maybe more updated, right? And Hitbox almost seems like they're hinting, right? Like we want to announce something soon, or we have some plans, but as of right now, they're like, we can't say anything. Then somebody else saying, while you were planning, others adapted. Sorry that you lost the market share. You don't get to pull this off though. At Big Red Pump's ad as well saying, how is this nothing more than an attempt to keep your name from becoming like a certain tissue bound plot twist? It already has, making people pay to license the name. That's just an extra layer of sus. And as you may have guessed, Hitbox responds again saying, to clarify, the licensing program is not about the Hitbox trademarks, but specifically about the Hitbox patents. And then these are the comments that I was talking about, right? Where people are like saying, I do like the products, but maybe this is not the move, right? Right here saying, as an avid Hitbox user for the past 2+ years, great customer support, but this ain't the move. Y'all need to be making different versions or updating literally anything. I love my Hitbox, but thinking about something less outdated. Hitbox responds to that saying, once we are allowed to sell products with the PS5 compatibility, we plan on providing that. Then somebody by the name of @CoreUKid says, can you comment on what the cost of licensing has been like for smaller entities? They respond saying, I guess it's case by case scenario, right? Because they're like, as far as you mentioned elsewhere, this is something that will be negotiated with each license. Our goal is to be fair and not strive partners' ability to produce, maintain, and grow their businesses. So there you go so far. It seems like Hitbox is doing their best to put out the small fires and whatnot. One interesting point though, somebody says, or Hitbox said, right, like we plan to do this once we're able to. I did see a comment or two that says, well, you should be able to make products for PS5. You're just not willing to pay the fee. Because apparently, I could be mistaken, let me know in the comment section, but I think in order to make the controller for PS5 and whatnot, you have to pay like this huge fee in order to do it. So I think that's what people are saying. They're saying like, or they're hinting to at least, right? Saying, y'all could have been doing it, but you weren't willing to pay the price to do it. But like I said, on the other hand, it does seem, and this is all speculation right now, that Hitbox has something up their sleeve that they're wanting to announce soon. Not really sure, that's just a guess right now. But like I said, it gets even deeper because there's another producer of controllers, I guess, by the name of SGF Devices, profile on the screen. And by the way, all their information down below, definitely check them out. It says monkeys making controllers, and they actually posted an official statement. Now, this statement we're just gonna kind of briefly read because some of them are fairly lengthy. Like I said, links down below so you can check them out. Right here it says, from the desk of SGF Monkey, right? Disclaimer, everything here is a matter of personal opinion. We can't afford lawyers or pretend method of conflict resolution, or our preferred method of conflict resolution will always be a FT10 money match training room stage, no items, right? Right here they say, bottom line, we believe that the overzealous enforcement of patent rights and licensing programs related to that activity are monopolistic and antithetical to the ethos of the FGC. We have no current intentions to participate in either. We do not begrudge anyone who must, but we encourage others to stay away when possible. Just like controller makers have their rights to choose who they contract with, consumers have every right to make their own buying decisions. We hope consumers make informed decisions to support people/businesses who feed support back into their community, and will continue to do our monkey's best to be leaders in the space. The profit margins in the controller making industry are already razor thin. We can't afford lawyers and aren't even worth suing, you know, have no profits and all, and our involvement in this profitless venture stands as a testament to our passion for the community and our desire to support it, nurture it, and help it grow. I'm sorry, the reason why I'm sorry, that's not funny, but the reason why I'm giggling is because the way it's worded is like, we can't afford lawyers and we aren't even worth suing, you know, having no profits and all, and our involvement in this profitless venture. Basically, they're like, hey, just in case Hitbox is looking, we don't mind us, baby. We counting pennies over here. We don't have the lawyers. We're not even worth suing, baby. This pockets is empty, right? So just keep it pushing, man, because we ain't got nothing over here. Like I said, I don't mean no disrespect by that. That's what it just reminds me of. They're basically like, hey, we're barely making it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, why bother us? Just keep it pushing and let bygones be bygones. Continuing on saying, because most other small maker/companies in this space are in similar positions to us, we believe they shouldn't be worried about it either. Controller manufacturers of all sizes are fleeing a market squeeze or feeling a market squeeze right now as players settle into new games and start learning their new tech. SGF's solution in slow times is to focus on building ourselves up rather than tearing down others. We're doing lots of R&D, cooking up new products and making classic accessories with never before seen fabrication process. We think others should also direct their efforts to legitimate innovations rather than legal battles. And then from there, you see more FGC responses, right? You see some memes coming out. Somebody by the name of Andy O posted this, right? It's a guy walking in, it looks like they're on a date, right? With some chick that looks like she might be drunk. She's on the bed, ready to go. He's taking his pants down, sees her dresser with the picture of some hitboxes, and now he's leaving. You can see up top her looking out like, where the hell are you going? Yeah, right. And then continuing on from there, what's the next one here? Somebody else responding saying, I believe, Brutus actually posted this saying, I believe in boomer supremacy and bowing down to the fight sticks, right? And then Broski adds to this saying, have you guys considered making your product competitive instead of turning into digital landlords? So yeah, definitely heated in these FGC streets, right? But here's one thing to consider. Well, let me say this real quick, because I've said this in I think I've had to make 2 of these so far in the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, right? Because at one time I was always wearing a Hitbox hat, if you guys remember, right? We've done multiple Hitbox giveaways, and I've always made it publicly clear, no, I am not sponsored or contracted by Hitbox at all. They have just supported Button Check pretty much since the beginning of Button Check. I've talked to their owner, or one of their owners, I should say. I have a friend that I consider a really good friend that works there. And I've considered them good people. That's my personal experience with them. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, anytime I've reported stories, I'm gonna be real with y'all, they'll be the first to tell me, like, do what you do. Literally, they're not like, hey, could you not say that? Because I'm gonna be real with y'all, there have been people in the FGC that'll DM me from time to time, be like, hey, could you not say this and yada yada, right? Hitbox, and I'm being 100 right now, has never told me that. They're always like, do what you do. We understand you gotta report the story, just do what you do, man. I even had a member of the Hitbox team tell me recently, we don't want you looking bad for you to feel like you have to defend us. Just do what you do. And I was like, holy shit, if that ain't the realest shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you. I was gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I try to be fair. I wanna be neutral in these stories and whatnot. But I thought that was cool as shit for them to say something like that. But I'll also add here, my personal relationship and experience with them is not what this is about. You know what I'm saying? This is about something else. And a patent, apparently, they're coming out. Because I want to say this as well. You remember there was a story, I want to say it was 2021. I did back-to-back. I just looked at the dates. It was December of 2021 where there was a company called Junkfood Arcade, if I'm not mistaken. They came out with a snack box. Let me know down below if I'm wrong, right? But they were talking, they were mad because they were like, we received what we to believe was a cease and desist from Hitbox. And we're pissed. They were about to be a part of, I can't remember, like CEO or something like that. And all of a sudden they disappeared, right? And the FGC was mad. They were looking at Hitbox like, why are you trying to monopolize this shit? You're picking on the little guy. And Junkfood Arcade was really mad. And they're like, how dare you come at it like this? We should all be able to partake in this, right? I'll even play a little clip from that video. Let's check it out.
Junkfood Custom Arcades. And from my understanding, that means they're the ones that launched this lawsuit. The defendant is Hitbox. It's in regard to a patent. And it looks like the plaintiff here, so Junkfood Custom Arcades has demanded a jury.
Now, this is kind of like a big part of the story, like the meat of the story kind of pops off. So Junkfood apparently was supposed to attend CEO. They were supposed to be like a big part of it, like an official sponsor, right? Then all of a sudden, they pull out. Then they post this tweet right here with this message saying Junkfood Custom Arcade was sent a cease and desist letter from Hitbox prior to CEO and did not attend with a good faith effort to resolve this dispute. We maintain that our products do not infringe any valid intellectual property rights, as was suggested in the C&D letter. The plate reference in this video is our path to a declaratory judgment. GFCA has always respected valid intellectual property rights and will continue to do so. We look forward to providing you, our valued customers, top-notch JFCA products moving forward.
Here, Junkfood Custom Arcades has a couple of products with button layouts that are very similar to the Hitbox patent. And they've teased a new product here with a button layout that is very similar to the Smashbox. Thirdly here, from my understanding, Junkfood Arcades was the primary fight stick sponsor for CEO. And the day that CEO started on December 3rd, Junkfood Arcades put out a statement that all of a sudden they wouldn't be at the event. They didn't provide any details and they said they wouldn't be speaking about it.
Okay, so you see that, and if you just stop there, you might be thinking, well, here goes Hitbox again, man. Why do they always do some shit like that? Because the FGC was heated when that story broke. Here's the crazy thing, and like I said, I'm not trying to see bias. I also reported a story a week later when it appeared, like I say, that Junkfood Arcade was being hypocrites because somebody else came back and they're like, how are you guys gonna say this shit when you did the same thing to me? Let's check out a clip from that video. Oh, and by the way, before I play this video, I was actually sick during this video. You can tell my energy is way off, and it happened to be around Christmas. Either way, check out the clip. Because apparently Junkfood did the exact same thing they complained about, or that others complained about, to another gentleman that was creating like a similar hitbox. Basically, you can see where Junkfood is responding, saying, hi, the buttons are patent pending. The overall design is in process as well. I would ask nicely for you to respect that. I think you could understand that the hard work me and my son have put into our products. Junkfood responds saying, take the flat box down. They respond simply saying, why? Then they say, because it's not your design. You copied my design. You have no idea how much effort went into that from me and my family. Why do you think we would just give that away to you? Pick another one from our slim projects and invest your time there. Please pull the flat blocks down. Then you can see where it continues saying from here forward, it'll be with lawyers. So you can see how it jumps up super quick. And once again, does it kind of sound familiar to y'all? Once again, situation where you're like, you need to stop what you're doing. But the funny thing with this one is Junkfood admits in the beginning, there's no patent on what we're doing, it's patent pending, but yet take your shit down because here come my lawyers and you better respect the work we put. I'm the guy talking about in the interview, I made the flat box with the open source DIY fight stick design, among other things. I'm sick of Junkfood claiming they only wanted to sort out things before they reach out to me. The only thing they ever wanted from me was to take down my designs. There has never been any collaboration request, only threats. Have you noticed how he doesn't answer the question about his lawyers bullying the mods into removing my post? Because that's what happened. And down below says, support them in their fight against Hitbox if you want, but don't believe the takes they tell about their interactions with me and their stance towards DIY stick makers. Okay, so there you go. Damn, basically, yeah, you talk shit about one person only for somebody to reveal that you did the exact same shit to somebody else that almost seems smaller than you. So yeah, what goes around comes around, I guess. Now, this is not to say that Junkfood, please don't take this the wrong way. I don't want to say that we're saying this to talk bad about Junkfood because they might be different now. I know people like their products, you know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is this is what happened back in 2021, right? We know through the years, Hitbox, just the Hitbox alone has caught shit, right? People call it a cheater box or they don't respect it. But we know people like Daigo and, I mean, big names, right? They love the Hitbox. Hell, they're sponsored, some of them, by Hitbox, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely made its way in the FGC. But I guess this is the debate, man. From a business standpoint of view, how do y'all feel about this? You know what I'm saying? Because Hitbox has felt for a long time, they're like, we created this. We're the ones that created the actual fucking Hitbox. We're the originators. So for other people to kind of take the design, run it, and sell with it, some may make tweaks and whatnot, obviously, but they're like, we feel from a business point, that we should get something from that as far as like, you should at least ask us permission. Now they're doing this to be like, we could team together. I'm not sure what, like I said, the licensing fee and all that stuff, because they said it's going to be case by case and more information's to come. So it'll be interesting. The other question is people are saying, what if they don't? What happens? What's the benefit? Are you going to sue us? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I noticed the comments from Hitbox. They're like, well, we're not focusing on that right now. We're just focusing on the people that want to. So I think that's what a lot of the FGC is getting aggravated about too. They're like, well, is it inevitable? Are people just going to start getting cease and desists like willy-nilly? Or are we going to start getting taken to court? Because like I said, on one hand, I can see from a business standpoint where they might be frustrated, right? Because they're like, this is our baby. This is our product. I've talked to the owner, one of the owners, they're brothers. Their whole life, this is literally their whole life, how they created this, how he moved to like, man, where did he move? He moved overseas somewhere, like just to like help manufacture it. And then the headquarters is in Las Vegas. So anyway, I know the backstory. So I can see if you're somebody that put the blood, sweat, and tears behind all of this, and then you start seeing competitors and people basically take the design, I can see, let's be real, let's talk real talk, man. I can see how you'd be frustrated. I can see how you'd be like, okay, well, what should I do here? You know what I'm saying? But I could also see on the flip side from the FGC streets where they're like, hey, why can't we all just get along type of shit? You know what I'm saying? Like we took your product, but we made alterations and stuff like that. Why do you have to sue us? Because some people even say, how could you put a patent on a button layout, right? You see those comments. People are like, well, how could you can't put a patent on a button layout. But I think from what Hitbox saying is they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how patents works. I don't know exactly how that went down, but there's something there. Obviously, they mentioned it just now. So bottom line is, we've seen this before. It seems to go away and the Hitbox will come back. I don't know how this is gonna go over. I imagine if it does go the way where people start getting cease and desist and sued, it's gonna get a lot sloppier. Hopefully we don't see that, man. But I don't know how this business works when it comes to all this, right? But I do think a big thing, a huge thing with Hitbox, if they can announce the PS5, that they're now compatible or they're making like even like more updated stuff, that's going to be huge for them. And I think that's going to definitely, obviously, right, it would take their company to the next level. Time will tell. But how much time is left on that clock? Y'all tell me. How you feeling? There it is one more time. Thank you guys for the amazing love. We will see you soon, man. If not tomorrow, definitely the next day. Hopefully it'll be tomorrow. I'm shooting for tomorrow. And Patreons, we got a brand new video coming your way tonight. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Thank you for the massive love, man. Exciting things coming up. And as always, you already know. I don't know what it is, but I know somehow it's going to get better. Love y'all, family. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
And now into that sweet moment of FGC bliss. This one right here, I gotta confess, it's not actually FGC, but I believe it still brings bliss to everybody in the FGC because it's fucking hilarious. Somebody by the name Radiant, is that their name, right? They say today Radiant is bringing what we do best to Fortnite, right? Introducing the Milk Cup, the largest women's Fortnite event ever. $250,000 prize pool, right? Seems crazy. But then somebody by the name of JoJo responds saying, who the fuck decided to name a women's tournament the Milk Cup? Why? Think about it. I didn't even think about it until now. Why the fuck would you name an all-women's tournament the Milk Cup? That comment has over 105,000 likes. The Milk Cup. They might as well call it the C Cup or the D Cup or Battle of the Titties, you know what I'm saying? Or Best of the Breasts or some shit like that. The Milk Cup? The Milk Cup.